brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. Suds, Suds, Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Hello. Make yourself comfortable.
Turn off the radio.
No.
Oh, sorry. No. Don't do that. Sorry.
Alexa,
No.
turn off.
Keep whatever you're listening to on. This is
Unless
going to
it's
be
this.
a really cool episode. So, welcome everyone to another Suds segment where really good beer meets really bad radio. I am your hostess, good old gal Juliana, and with me today is good old boy Dave.
I am the gangster of love. I am the Lothario of hearts.
That
The
second
Lothario
part
of farts?
makes sense.
Sorry, it was me.
Whatever. Good old boy Kendall,
Namaste.
welcome. Good old boy Drew
So glad to be here.
and good old boy Sparky.
Am I going to leave? No, I'm going to stay.
Da-da-da. I don't have the drum sound.
Hey.
There you go.
Wow, that's a special drum sound. Okay, well, folks,
I do have it. See, boom, in your face.
what a weirdo.
Namaste.
What a weirdo. Okay, so summer can't last forever, but thank goodness. The heat is flippin' killing me. But some of the other flavors of summer are still with us and will stay with us for a long time. Today we're going to be exploring the Dogfish Head Off-Center Your Summer Cooler Pack. What a cool name, right? It's one of the most...
Oh, no, it could be cooler.
Oh.
I'll leave now. I'm sorry.
Okay, I have to say it's one of the most ingenious twists on a mixed pack yet. And no surprise that it's one of the most it's from one of the most creative and off-center breweries in America. But before we get started with all this, our Suds segment is brought to you by
The law offices of Scratcher J. Scratcherton. Are you a kitty? Do you need an attorney? Are you in jail? Come to the law offices of
Kitty
Scratcher
jail.
J. Scratcherton. Scratchers J. Scratcherton, attorney at law. She'll fight for her clients, giving justice the middle finger. Scratchers J. Scratcherton is not licensed to practice law in any of the 50 states or any U.S. territory or possession or ally or the United Arab Emirates.
That was a great sponsor, folks. Okay, so good old boy Dave, why don't you read what you downloaded off the internet for this cool pack?
Wait, are you sure you want Dave to read?
What the hell?
Well, I mean, it's fun to laugh at him while he tries, but it's also kind of sad.
Yeah, it's getting kind of sad, but it does make me laugh a bit.
You guys know I'm sitting right here, right?
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, dear. And you're doing a great job at it.
God love
Isn't
him.
he?
Good job.
He's so
You're just
good.
really just knocking it out, buddy.
Just the best.
Screw you guys.
Now kiss.
So much screw you. Screw you all.
Okay, Dave. Go ahead and read it for us,
Whatever, dude.
special boy.
Ever been left in dire need of a cooler for your... God, now I'm messing it up. I'm proving you all right. I hate you guys.
Yes.
Ever been left in dire need of a cooler for your just purchased beer? Hell yeah. We've got you covered. Meet the Off-Center Your Summer Pack, an innovative water-resistant cooler featuring an assortment of off-centered ales. You'll find 60-Minute IPA, Seaquench Ale, Lupu-Luau IPA, and Namaste White wrapped up in a variety 12-pack. And thanks to a wet strength, paperboard, God, that's not even a word, that can hold ice and water for up to 6 hours. How do you read a hyphen? Never mind. For up to 6 hours, all you have to do...
It's a slash.
Oh, yeah, // ... All you have to do is add ice for an on-the-go cooler pack. In addition to the convenience and broad selection of distinct brews, you'll also find a custom Dogfish Head koozie, found it, can cooler koozie, and a chance to win a trip. Damn it, we didn't open this in time to do the trip.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. To a coastal Delaware for a once-in-a-lifetime dogfish experience. Okay, we're not going to read all that because we already missed out on the experience, so I'm bitter.
Okay, fine.
So forget you guys.
Well,
just-
yay, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, just one question real quick. I hear you like to wear wet strength paperboard underbridges. Is that what you're wearing right now?
It's not that I like to, it's that my doctor recommended it.
fair. Okay.
Yes.
It's a necessity.
I chafe.
Amongst
easily.
men of a certain age.
Yes.
It's true.
Well, once you've lived a certain lifestyle for a few years, certain things don't work quite as well.
And that lifestyle is?
We'll discuss that on a different episode.
Oh, okay. Well, to be continued.
I sprang a leak, everybody. Okay, I can't help it.
Okay. Well, good old boy Drew, would you mind giving us the Suds ratings for today?
It'd be great, and my pleasure. We'll be discussing and rating these beers with these Suds ratings, plus our signature belching sounds. Here are those ratings now. Number 1, that sucks. Give me anything but a bud. Number 2, was that a belch?
Maybe.
Number 3, what a relief. Number 4, a body should really not make that sound. And number 5, listen to that hang time and give me another.
Yeah.
Thanks, good old boy Drew. That was awesome. So let's get to some beer now. Okay, so one of the cool things about this pack is that the beers they included are not only meant to be drunk individually.
Drunk or drank? Is it
Drunken?
drank? Maybe
It's drank.
I was
I
not
don't-
meant to be drunk, but yet here I am.
don't know that it is drank, but maybe it is drank. Is
Okay.
it drank or drunk or drinked?
So in other words, you should not only drink these individually, but they are recommended to blend, which is so much fun. So, excuse you?
He blended something.
Why didn't it come with like a blend glass? If that's really what you're going for, you're not going to be pouring cans together, right?
Blends, bro.
Oh,
You're going to like blend into the koozie? Like, how does this work?
If the beer's good enough on its own, why do you need to blend it?
Come on, Sam. You innovated with the amazing cooler box and
Well,
it comes with a koozie, but where's my mixing cup?
Okay,
I didn't anticipate
hold
things
on.
going this way.
Okay, hold on a second. You like take a sip of a can, you hold it, you take a sip of another can, you blend it in your mouth, and then you get this explosion of flavor.
Bingo.
Sparky, did
The
you
last
see?
time I did that and there was an explosion of flavor in my mouth, it was just, it's a memory I don't want to remember. It's
You
a
know what
different thing.
though?
Bad flavor.
Yeah.
This is
It was bad touch.
but this is new touch.
Okay.
One
fair
time
enough.
at band camp.
It's true.
Whatever. Okay, so first we're going to discuss each beer, and then each host is going to talk about their favorite and maybe least favorite blend out of the group. Okay, so the first beer that we're going to talk about is a Seaquench Ale. Okay, so the Seaquench Ale is a session sour mashup of a crisp Kolsch, a salty Goza, and a tart Berliner Weiss, which is brewed in sequence with black limes, sour lime juice, and sea salt to
You know,
make
black
this.
limes matter. I'm
They
just
do.
going to say that. Okay.
No, just
God,
don't
no.
don't
Fire.
go. Stop, Dave.
Please stop.
Wow. Wow.
God,
okay.
No.
So, anyways, Seaquench Ale to me is a summer perennial. What do you guys think about it?
I think it's a summer perennial.
Oh, this is a beautiful beer. I've loved this ever since it came out. I thought it was just going to be a one-time seasonal thing. Maybe it was, but it's been selling so well. I think they're cranking it out
I
almost all
think
the time.
I think it got more popular than they anticipated.
I was just at a local baseball game. Our AAA team had their season ender here on Labor Day.
I know.
And
So
it was
sad.
a noon game, and it was so hot. I had seats right behind home plate, but I was in the sun. And luckily, I had a 19.2 ounce can of Seaquench, and it was the perfect beer for hot, sweaty weather.
It really is. I mean, it's crisp. It's got a decent amount of flavor for it, but it's not overpowering. And you can definitely have a few of these.
It's almost like a sports drink. Because there's the salt in there, kind of electrolytes. Keep
It's got
you going.
electrolytes. That's what plants crave.
Absolutely.
Totally. Yeah.
But it's a beautiful beer.
It really is, man. And I can't think of any other beer with this kind of profile that is proliferated quite as much. I mean, there's no other sours or anything like this that's this approachable that I think that's out there. What's the
Kolsch part? Is it just the kind of some of the lighter grain, or?
Yeah, that is an interesting mashup of what Kolsch, Berliner Weiss, and Goza.
For sure.
I mean, Goza and Berliner Weiss, that's very similar anyways.
Right.
So
it's just that one's a little bit saltier than the other.
But I guess
Kolsch provides the base, maybe?
There is a cleaner part to it than you get. There's more going on than just like a kettle soured beer.
I've always thought of it as sort of a gateway sour. I've introduced this beer to people who have never had or have never had a sour that they've enjoyed, and they've enjoyed this beer very much.
Gateway?
Very great.
So the first one's
It's
free?
a very light tartness, too.
First one's on me.
Yeah, first one's free, buddy.
Next one won't be as cheap, suckers.
So what did we rate the Seaquench?
We rated it a 4.
A Suds rating of 4?
A Suds rating of 4. Yes. Thank you.
A Seaquench Suds rating of 4?
Yeah.
So I guess this is technically, though, they're basically blending.
They're blending.
It's its own blend.
3 beers together,
Yeah.
which is, becoming a more, I think, common thing.
Hard to tell what these guys are doing there in Delaware.
What do you mean?
They're doing some cool
Beer
stuff.
tails.
They're doing
they're
some
up to
cool
something.
stuff.
There's some shenanigans going on there.
But I like it.
Cocktails.
Yeah. No, I do too. And I think taking a Kolsch, which is a very underrated beer style, and adding it into something as salty as a Goza, which we all contribute to a summer beer, I think is great.
Yep. Very well done.
Well, more
say
discussions
suspicious.
after this brief interlude.
Very suspicious.
Hey, welcome back, everyone.
Hey.
So we are talking about the Dogfish Head Off-Center Your Summer Pack. And we had just discussed the Seaquench Ale. Now we're going to move on to the 60-minute IPA, a perennial favorite.
Is it really, though? Is it even really a good IPA
Stop it.
anymore?
Yes.
Okay, so 60-minute IPA, for those of you that don't know, is a continually hopped, super fantastic IPA brewed with a slew of great Northwest hops for a powerful yet balanced citrus hop flavor.
Was there ever a 30-minute IPA?
A hooey what?
No,
A 30?
only
No.
60. 90, 120.
Yeah. You don't want to boil for just 30 minutes. You're not going to get much.
But if you think
about
about
half.
Maybe like a session.
Yeah, but you won't get the bitterness. It's not
Yeah.
even that. It's like it's a different thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus, you're not going to drive up. What is it? The DMS?
Yeah.
You need to boil at least 60
Yeah,
minutes.
that's true.
yeah.
Get your
That's a good point.
DMS out of here.
Okay, so
Sorry.
what do we all think about the 60-minute on its own?
I think
Love
it's
it.
wonderful. Now, it actually is like a pretty classic IPA.
It really is, right? I mean, before all the hype of East West and West Coast and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. IPA almost doesn't mean anything anymore because
doesn't.
there's so many beers calling themselves an IPA, and it's
Right.
like, what does that even mean? They're
No, and,
Yeah.
and like one of the nice things about this beer, which I think is, just very much lacking, and it seems where the trends are going nowadays, you can taste malt, folks.
There is a malt backbone.
Yeah.
There's a
for
malt
sure.
backbone.
You
Malt
can,
not-
and
you
hops.
can
Yeah,
see
you don't have
through
to
it.
pay.
you can see through it. It doesn't look like, Florida Gold orange juice. And
Yeah.
actually,
you don't have to choose
Yeah. It's
not
malt or
sweet.
hops.
It's
you know.
not-
There's good bitterness.
there's a nice bitterness, which someday we're going to go back to being bitter. God, I can't wait
Doesn't
for
make
that
you
day.
scrunch your face up, though.
But it's got
Bitteres Biergesicht.
that piney, resiny bitterness you expect from what used to be, I guess, the Northwest IPAs, but just it tastes like an IPA used to taste.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
this would be like a great public service message to remind everybody to get off of our lawns. Just all you kids just need to get off our lawns.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. No, exactly.
Collectively.
I
Exactly.
taste the pee, eh?
But the thing is and what I like about this is not a new beer. This is not a new beer style. There's nothing new about this beer, but it still holds up.
It's a classic.
It really is. And it's something that I think a lot of people can, like, if they're concerned about IPAs and what's New England, what's West, and what's Midwest, and all these versions, just go to the basics. I mean,
and if someone were to ask me, they wanted to know classic BJCP American IPA, what are your top 3-ish? This is always going to be in that description, probably up there with maybe Stone and something maybe something even from Rogue up in the Northwest.
Sure.
But on the East Coast, nobody did those classic bitter, piney, resiny IPAs like Dogfish Head.
And it's very approachable. It's not too dank.
No.
And that's the thing that I like about it.
It's no 90-minute, but it's still good.
Drew?
For me, it's not enough of anything. It's, is this West Coast? Well, no, it needs a little more bitterness, a little more. Is it East Coast? No, not really at all. It's inoffensive. It's basic, dare I say it. I don't hate it, but it's not something I ever see myself and haven't seen myself ordering out in years. But then again, my palate changes. So
well, and there's that. I mean, if we think about if we think about trends, right? I mean, at first we were basic, then we went to dank.
Yep.
And earthy. And then there was this craze about, citrus bombs, for lack of a better. Right. Yeah. But the thing is at the end of the day,
don't forget Brute IPAs.
Well, and the Brutes that are coming out. God. Yeah.
I'm a fan of the Brutes.
I just peed a little.
What was that?
I think I just peed a little.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm glad you made me repeat it.
I think at the end of the day, if somebody was used to, like, let's say light lagers, okay, I think this is a nice introduction of what the world of hops can bring to the table. No?
Maybe? No, I agree. I agree.
I think it might blow people out a little bit.
I mean,
again,
I agree.
I told you guys this earlier.
Yeah?
I mean, one of the worst drunkery experiences I ever had was with Dogfish 120. And
okay, but that's 120.
Right. But I feel like this is like half of a really bad experience for me. But I still liked it, and
So it's a semi-good experience.
I won't say where we were, but recently I saw Dogfish 120 minute for $42 a 4-pack.
That's like a hate crime.
That's a little high.
That's
a little bit.
Okay.
Good beer, but dang, I mean, that's,
That's ridiculous.
I'm going to have to disagree with Julieanna and agree with Dave as far as it being maybe a little too much in your face for people. This may be anecdotal, but I have introduced a lot of non-IPA drinkers to IPAs with the New England style. And they are like, oh my God, this is delicious. And they were the previous lager drinkers, Pilsner drinkers.
This might be like step 2 or 3 in that progression.
Fine.
Well, but I think we all agree here. Well, except for Drew. I think we all agree this is a pretty dang good IPA.
It is.
It's not bad.
I still, when I want to just to buy a 6-pack of a classic IPA, this is one of my go-tos.
Cool. Yeah.
So
what are some other ones, Kendall?
Oh.
Two Hearted?
Two Hearted for sure.
Yeah.
Founder
so
Centennial. When I can get my hands on it. Revolution Antihero.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is all along that same breath.
Yep.
I mean, these are classic IPAs.
Bitter.
Yeah.
Piney. Citrus. Grapefruit.
Sure. I mean, it's a nice blend of both. It's not one extreme or the other. Anyways, we rated this beer, which is the 60-minute IPA from Dogfish Head, a 4.
Sorry. Quick on the trigger.
Wow.
Well,
There's
that
that.
happens, I
Okay.
get excited.
So the third beer in this mixed 4-pack is the Namaste White.
Well, it is a peer to the other beers, though.
It's a beer? Or is it a peer beer?
Sorry, I'm trying to bail you out, man.
Okay. So the Namaste White, which is a Belgian-style white ale that's brewed with orange flesh and peel, fresh cut lemongrass, a bit of coriander, peppercorns, and a healthy dose of good karma. On a quest to brew a wit beer chock full of flavor, it digs deep into their culinary roots, using ingredients of all of those great things with a bit of coriander for a refreshing and sessionable experience. And I like that phrase, refreshing and sessionable experience. What do you guys think of this beer?
I mean, for the style, I think it's really good. I think it's got a lot of balance. I definitely get a lot of the orange and coriander. I'm not a huge Belgian white fan, but I do enjoy this one. That's just me.
I am a big Belgian white fan. It's one of my classic styles I like to go to all the time. I mean, to me, it is the epitome of the easy drinking style. I will admit, way back in the day, I was drinking a lot of Blue Moon when it was easy to find and there was nothing else available.
Did you have the
way
orange slice?
Back in the day? No, I generally don't like the orange slice, but
that orange slice, though,
they put it in this one for you.
You're missing out, bro.
Yeah, even other of those big ones like Hogard, and I mean, I drank a lot of that a long time ago. But these days, I think there's 2 American versions of that are just right up there. This is one of them, the Namaste. The other is probably the one from Allagash, just the Allagash White.
Oh,
just exceptional Belgian wit beers.
Well, Allagash had to get one beer right. I mean,
and but I think, it's a competition of 2 for me, and it's the Allagash White or the Dogfish Namaste.
Wow, that's good.
You know what's interesting is that this beer was originally brewed in tribute to their friends at 3 Fontenay Brewery in Belgium after a devastating setback to their business in 2009. So I thought that's kind of cool because if you think about Dogfish Head, they're really not necessarily known for American style beers, right? And off-centered, funky American style beers.
Very interesting takes on anything they do.
Right,
I don't
exactly.
know what they're known for except just weirdness.
Okay, but cool weirdness.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly good weirdness.
But being able to brew a beer like this that is in that style with their own little, Delaware twist to it, I thought was kind of cool.
What was the spit beer?
The spit beer?
Oh, the thing where you,
Chica? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the Chica
or something like that?
Oh, okay.
God, they did that? They did do that. Jeez. You know what? Hard pass.
Yeah. Hey, it's spitting corn, dude.
Those enzymes.
What's the problem there,
just
buddy?
making all the magic work there. Hard pass.
Okay, but
so this is way better than that,
but
right?
Not as good as Dry Fontaine.
Well,
It's mostly known for goose and lambic, so
exactly.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think they make a wit.
No, I don't
in
think they do
the
either.
world where on one end you have a spit corn beer and the other end you have a Dre Fontaine goose. Okay, Namaste is closer to the goose than the spit beer.
Namaste closer to the goose.
Yeah,
Really, in the
I would say that.
grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But the spicy component of this beer, I think it's kind of cool, and it's a gateway for those that are wanting to transition into that world of Belgian beers, where things are a little bit spicy and a bit crisp. And
this one definitely has those little black pepper notes going on.
Yeah, it really
absolutely.
does.
You should get
Spicy.
If you're a Blue Moon person, get off the Blue Moon, get onto this.
Exactly.
I could agree with that.
Yeah. But this is also, I hate to say, easy drinking and millennial.
Yeah.
Well,
A lot of
we have-
In the
lemongrass and
scheme of things,
coriander.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
We have a millennial here.
I want to pair it with, some sort of pho.
Right.
Fuck.
Oh, well, no, exactly. But it's like kind of bringing things, I hate to say organically, but bringing things organically around to the table. Anyways, we rated this beer, which is the Namaste White
2.
from Dogfish Head. No, a 3.
I gave it a 2.
He did.
You were
And
outvoted.
I was
there's that.
outvoted. I was much higher.
Okay, so
Kendall's been high since he got here. I'm just saying.
so the last
Much
beer
higher.
out of this mix 4-pack and mix and collaborate 4-pack, I should say, is the Lupu-Luau.
Lupu.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Gosh,
Well,
I know. I'm
there
happy.
you go.
Sparky scare, so she...
It must have been.
Sorry.
Okay, so this one is really interesting. So it's their juicy coconut-centric lupulin party. It's an IPA that is brewed with a tropical trifecta of toasted coconut, experimental hops, and coconut water. So the story of Lupu-Luau began when Sam was hanging outside with coworkers during an overly sunny day in Delaware. One present coworker in particular was lacking heavily in the melanin department, to put it lightly. Okay, so he's pale like me. You know what? There's a few pale people in the world. A friendly joke about a total tan aversion led to this legendary comment. You can say it, Sam. I'm pale as F blah, blah, blah. The brewer and Sam thought that would make a cool name for a super pale beer. From there, the wheels started turning and the iterative R&D process began. So there's that.
Wait,
So,
I'm pale as
blah.
effing Lupu-Luau?
Yeah, I guess so. So he
They
set
must
out.
have been high or something, dude.
No, I don't think so.
I think they were wasted.
I don't think so. Okay,
On the drugs.
Yeah, they were on the drugs.
on the lupulin.
All the drugs.
They were just happy with the lupulin. Okay, so Sam set out to make a hazy, overly pale beer, but the test batches weren't quite there yet. However, during that process, he found out how great coconuts work in an IPA and decided that the new goal was to make an IPA using as much coconut as possible.
He did it.
He did. So they started with a combination of Pils malt and flake barley, rolled oats, and malted and raw wheat to get it all hazy. And then they introduced coconuts 3 ways by adding it toasted, dehydrated, and an experimental hop, which gives you that unique coconut and woody aroma.
So
and there you go. Out came-
dehydrated coconut water.
Yeah.
The hell does that even mean?
I've been selling dehydrated
Okay,
water
so-
for years.
It's like a concentrated
expanding market.
coconut water.
It's like powder, right?
because
Maybe.
when you dehydrate something, you take the water out, right?
Right?
Isn't that
So
what-
how? Yeah. I don't know. Just doesn't seem to.
Sam sold somebody a bill of goods on this one.
Whatever. I don't think you're just getting.
I mean,
the whole
it's
big
a delicious
picture.
And when was
There's
this? When was this to market? I want to say that we've had some local coconut IPAs that may have beaten this out.
So there was one local coconut IPA, and it used that same hop.
Gotcha.
And the thing about that hop is, as the beer warms up, the coconut flavor comes out more and more, and that's why it's almost overwhelming in this beer as it warms up. I like the Lupu-Luau a lot when it was cold, but as it warms up, man, you might as well be drinking a coconut cream pie or
Some
something.
dehydrated coconut water.
Yeah, I really like Sam. I've met him a few times. I gotta disagree with him and say that coconut does not work with IPA. But it's probably just because I do not like coconut. I've never liked coconut, and I just don't think it belongs in anything.
In most instances, I don't like coconut. I think like a coconut stout works better than a coconut IPA.
Yep.
But
I've had some that taste kind of like a Mounds Bar, which
Yeah.
I barely tolerate, but I like the flavor profile.
But I think you can have a coconut IPA because it's a tropical flavor. But when everything in the beer is coconut, no, that's not cool.
You think this is overly coconut?
Especially as it warms up, it is way over the top.
Yep, I agree with Dave.
When it was cold, it was controlled and it was nice.
I want to hear from some of you coconut lovers, though.
Yeah, come on there.
I don't like coconut, but I like this beer. And as it's warmed, that hasn't really changed. It's definitely more coconut forward. I get it on the nose. I get it as soon as it hits my palate, but then that fades and I'm left with just the bitterness from the IPA. And I find it's a really good balance.
I know.
It takes. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it takes me on a journey. It goes from this nice, the first thing that hits me is the maltiness of the IPA. And then that immediately transitions straight into the coconut. And then there's that nice bitter finish that it, kind of things. I mean, that being said, I would not choose this beer out of a lineup of all 4 of these. I mean, it would not be my favorite of them. But that being said, I tend to agree with you guys. I think for me, coconut is something that pairs much better with maybe pineapple, perhaps in a beer flavor, or stout, a great, kind of stout flavorings, chocolate, that kind of stuff. But not so much with this IPA, in my opinion. I mean, that's just me.
What'd you think, Juliana?
I actually really like this. So initially, yes, I'm getting a nice clean palate, and then I move into the coconut. And the coconut is a little sweet, but I think that the hops that are a part of this are a little bit more on the dank West Coasty hops. So I think that it's a nice blend. And I'm just getting this nice evenness of flavor. And I mean, maybe I'm the only one, but this is one of my favorites of the 4-pack. So there's that.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in
So
my
this
top
is great.
50%.
That's great. You
think
can
it's
have all the ones from my 4-pack.
I will take them.
And I will
take them all.
Deal.
Really.
There you go.
I mean, to me, it's just a nice blend of sweet and dank, you know. But
Swank.
Stank.
Yes, swank. I like that word. Okay, so this beer that we rated from Dogfish Head, which is the Lupu-Luau, we rated this a 3. So first of all, before we get into our blends, I wanted to just say that I thought this was really interesting that Kendall, Dave, and I were recently at the Beer Bloggers Convention, and Sam happened to be our guest, our big
Keynote,
speaker.
yeah.
Yeah, our
Keynote,
keynote speaker. So when he was talking about this, I thought it was really rad that it was one of the packaging guys that came up with this concept.
Yeah.
And, you know, instead of just dismissing it saying, oh my God, you're so crazy, that this was the way to, you know, that he went with it. We'll be right back with more discussions in just a minute.
Cool.
Welcome back, everyone. So today we've been thanks. So today we've been discussing the Dogfish Head Off-Center Your Summer Pack. And I mean, I must say, this is a really, really cool concept. So we have tasted and given our ratings on each beer individually, but now is the cool part. So the whole point of this little this little pack here is to start blending. And I think that's something that's a little, how do I want to say it? A little underrated in the beer community. You know, we're so used to getting a bottle, drinking it, either liking it or not liking it. But who blends?
What about the liquidy part? Can you drink the liquidy part?
I mean, in terms of consumers, who blends their beer?
I don't know, but I blend all the time. It's a great way to drink.
It really is. So,
Well, I think most people, though, they tend to just buy like a 12-pack of something or a 6-pack, and then you don't get the opportunity to blend. But I think more people should do that.
no, I really think so.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's a cool thing to do.
I'm going to be the naysayer here.
No?
I always feel like an individual beer should stand on its own, and trying to blend, a couple different ones together is just trying to, make something good out of something bad.
I think, though, but no, I think you want a beer to taste good on its own. And I'm not saying blending is solely to make a bad beer better, but
Although I've done that.
yeah, you can. But I think you can make two good beers into something great in a certain circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Drew too. Is I don't blend frequently, but when I do blend, I can think of blending like fruited beers with stouts and stuff like that. Just
Oh.
kinda
Yeah,
that's the
like
most
a
common.
Do
classic.
you remember that one episode that we were on
That one time,
That
from
one
Braxton?
Oh, where we
Whoa.
blended? That was fun.
I mean,
yeah.
My favorite's always been like Bourbon County with Nuclearis, the cherry beer.
Right?
Sure.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Sure.
god.
I could
mean-
actually probably get behind that.
Any of those Nuclearis fruits with any like just
Big imperial
rich
stout.
imperial
Oh, absolutely.
stout, the chocolate, the coffee, the
Well,
fruit.
Juice and motor oil.
I had one
much,
that
yeah.
that actually came packaged as a blend. It was from Strange Craft and Epic, and it was a blend of Strange Craft's Creek with Big Bad Baptist.
That sounds good. But
yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
Dave, I thought you were going to say Bud Light Lime.
I can get on board.
Limerita.
I can get on board with a brewer blending the beer and selling that to me as a blend, but
Yeah.
I also somewhat feel like I'm disrespecting the brewer by blending the beers. Like I should drink the way that he intended or she intended for me to drink it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But you know what? I think this is another reason to think outside the box, and you don't necessarily need to do that. I mean, and you can do that with one brewery like we are today, or you can do it with a few other breweries. I mean, if you take like what I find really cool about this is that these are all light beer styles per se, and we're used to blending something that's really dark with a fruit or something like that. So this is taking some items that are kind of lighter and then blending those.
No, I was with some brewers from Ballast Point a couple of years ago, and I can't stand their watermelon Dorado. I hate that beer. I just can't. I can't take it, man. It's just I don't like it at all.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, oof. But I like their Mango Even Keel session IPA, and they actually blend the two together, and they call it Waddy Dodo Keel, and it's delicious.
There you go.
And
those are two light beers.
Those are two lighter beers, and that just kind of blew my mind. I'd never tried that kind of blends, brah.
Blends.
Yeah. So we took these 4 beers that were in this 12-pack, and we decided to do our own blends. So now we're going to talk about those blends. So, good old boy Dave, can you tell us about your favorite blend out of the group?
My favorite blend out of the group was 60 Minute and Lupu-Luau.
Wow. And why did you choose that?
Well, I think the 60 Minute kind of cuts the coconut a little bit in the Lupu-Luau and you get the hop bitterness added in there, and it really just kind of balances the whole thing out, and it makes it like a really complex tropical IPA experience.
I agree with Dave, and I almost wish they used 60 Minute as the base for Lupu-Luau, because the bitterness really does, I think, make the coconut seem less sweet. And I thought it was one of my favorite blends, even though I didn't like it on its own.
And even as it warms up, it actually continues to cut that coconut just enough to really make it a little more palatable.
And what did you rate this blend?
I would rate that one as a 4. And they should bottle it and call it 60 Lupu.
Nice. I dig that. Yeah. Okay.
Or something better.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I'm sure Sam can come up with
He'll
something
think
better.
of something. Yeah.
Okay. Good old boy Kendall. What blend did you come up with?
To no surprise of you, I had 2 favorites in this group, and when blended together, they're even better. So the 60 Minute and the Namaste work really well. I've always been a fan of what you would call the Belgian IPA. So you still get a little hop bitterness, but you get those kind of peppery, fruity Belgian esters going on. And the Namaste and the 60 Minutes just work so well together and make what I would call a perfect Belgian IPA.
What did you rate this beer?
Oh, to me, it's a 5.
Very cool.
Hey, Kendall brung it.
It's been brought in.
Yes.
Good old boy Drew. What combination did you come up with?
With my previously mentioned aversion to blending, I was somewhat skeptical.
He refused to blend.
I did not refuse to blend. I did.
We had to make him blend. Okay.
They may have threatened me.
But that's crazy because you're a cocktail lover and you blend all sorts of flavors.
I think this is weird because we are both easily the 2 biggest cocktail guys here and probably the most averse to blending beer. What's wrong with us?
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw there was a new cocktail book that came out from people that probably should never have written
a cocktail book.
Yeah.
And like most of those cocktail books.
Yeah, and they're here in town, and it was like all about beer cocktails, and and of course it like had ridiculous esoteric beers in it that no one would ever be able to obtain.
Back in the time of our founding fathers, there was actually a relatively common beer-based cocktail called the Flip. It was beer
absolutely
and egg and various things. I can get behind using a beer in a cocktail. I'm somewhat.
Oh,
beer
you'll
with
mix
beer.
a beer and an egg, but you won't mix a beer and a beer. Okay, buddy.
Beer, egg, and spirits.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Trifecta.
Okay.
Yeah,
whatever,
right.
honey.
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you.
Getting to what I decided to do here. I did half and half the Lupu-Luau and the Namaste. I really enjoyed, the things that made me not really enjoy the Namaste, the lemongrass, the coriander notes, worked really well, in my opinion, with the coconut and sort of citrus that you get from the Lupu-Luau. And I liked the combination better than I did either beer individually. You can sue me. You can join me.
Sue me.
But I would probably say that I rated that one a 4.
Hey, buddy, I'm just glad you participated. All right.
Where's my trophy?
We all got to start somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
You get a can of hard seltzer to take home.
So good, boy Sparky. What
Too
blend
soon.
did you come up with?
So I think mine was my favorite was Lupu plus Quench or Quench plus Lupu. Lupu. Luquench. Yeah, to me that was kind of a nice. I was not a huge fan. To me, Lupu-Lupulan was a little bit too coconutty. I don't know. I mean, hated it. Not a huge fan, but when you throw in some lime there, I think it really kind of turns it almost like a little tiki kind of thing going on there. You're getting kind of a little bit of citrus, a little bit of the coconut, and I enjoyed that combination.
Did you put the lime in the coconut?
Oh wow!
And I drank them both up.
You think the
I
sour,
put the lime in the coconut.
And you drank them both together?
Drank them both together.
Did it make you feel better?
No, but I did call the doctor up, and I did say no. I can't do it.
So was that definitely a tiki cocktail beer for you?
That was kind of a tiki cocktail. beer for
Hey,
me.
speaking of cocktails, I know you guys like cocktails. Have you tried the gins on the other spirits from Dogfish Head?
Oh, they're
I have.
so good.
I absolutely have. They're doing a good job.
I
with
really enjoyed those. I brought back a few. There was 2 different kinds of gins. Brought those back.
I don't think we get those down here.
It's not distributed here.
Yeah, I had to go to Delaware.
They
and
were
buy them
for
at
a second, and then they were not.
Yeah, they're really good. I highly recommend the Dogfish spirits.
Nice. So, do you think the sourness from the Seaquench kind of helped out a little bit too?
Yeah, to
pulled
me,
some of that sweetness out of the coconut.
The coconut bomb that was Lupu kind of gave it more dimensions, and I enjoyed it a lot more. Yeah.
So what did you rate that?
I rate that 4.
Oh wow!
Somebody hit Dave. He's
I know,
skipping.
really. Yeah, wake
There's
him up.
been a glitch in the Matrix, guys.
Okay, so a lot of great flavors here, right? And so
Well, there's a lot of flavors.
there's a lot of great flavors. So I thought I was going to do something weird, and I blended the Seaquench with the 60-minute IPA.
Okay.
Yeah.
That worked. That was pretty good.
Well, I mean, I thought it was kind of cool because I like the base of the 60-minute IPA. You know what I mean? It's malty, it's a little resinousy, but not overly so.
Right.
And then the Lupu-Luau has got this nice coconut, this brightness to it. And you blend the two together, and I thought this was just so approachable. And it's, okay, dare I say millennial? But it's very millennial in flavor, if that makes any sense.
Whiny and lives
I
with
object.
its parents.
Whatever.
Triggered.
No, but I mean, the Lupu-Luau to me is a millennial type of beer.
Was that a microaggression?
It was actually.
Where's my safe space?
Is that nano?
Someone give Drew a puppy.
But the Lupu-Luau
Yes,
is
please.
it's a very modern style beer, okay? And the 60-second is the 60-minute is a very retro style beer in the scheme of things. And I think combining those two together, it just made a really nice blend.
So it's like a May-December relationship.
Whatever. That's rude. It could last longer.
The old and new.
Maybe May,
It's
November.
gonna last longer for me.
Wow.
Anyways. Okay, so I really enjoyed this.
we weren't going to talk about that.
And yet I went there. Oh well. So I really enjoyed the coconutiness with all of the hops and the malt backbone. And it just sort of like created this nice little, well, it was a good blend to me. I rated this a 4.
Yay.
Okay, so we've all tasted individually and we've all tasted as blends. What do you think about the concept of blending beers that, I mean, may be from the same brewery or may not be from the same brewery, but just in the essence of blending brews.
We know what two people think.
Well, yeah.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Was there something on the pack that said, "Hey, try to blend these beers"?
No, but where we got that from was I think when Sam was talking about blending. The packaging guy who actually created the concept said these beers are great for blending. So we thought, well,
I think mostly they worked. I thought I tried several of the combinations. The only one that didn't work for me was all four.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Well, that's because you cross the streams.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
But if you put everything, the Namaste, the 60 Minute, and the Lupu-Luau, those three worked
That was
together.
delicious. You put the Seaquench in there, it didn't work.
The sourness throws it off a little bit.
The only one I did with 3 that I thought was good was I left out 60 Minute because of the bitterness, and I went with the 3 that had tropical or citrusy flavors, and those worked really well together.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So it's Lupu-Luau, Namaste, and Seaquench. I thought worked.
Yeah.
The Triforce.
Yes.
If you will.
But I think that's a really cool idea that you can take something like the 60 Minute that has been a tried and true traditional beer, like old school beer, if you will, and then adding some of these new flavor beers to it, and creating your own. I think it's a really cool concept of creating your own blend, that you don't have to just buy something in the bottle, drink it in the bottle by itself.
Well, there are
there's more to it than that.
There are a lot of breweries in their tap rooms now that do blends, and they call them like cocktails or whatever, and they'll take stuff on their tap list.
Stop it.
Look,
I'm behaving.
I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that's what they do. But they'll take a couple different things on their tap list, and they'll give them a name. The John Wayne or the Smelly Shelly or
whatever.
Stinky Finger.
Stinky Finger?
Sure. You never had a Stinky Finger?
No.
Oh man. We'll talk after the show.
Is that beer really going to sell?
Oh, it's not a beer.
I don't know. I mean, for me, like, look, I mean, all these beers are delicious. They're in cans, and I'm not going to have them in my possession long enough to blend them.
Agreed.
I'm going to crack these bitches open.
I'm going to open that case.
Gotcha.
I'm going to pour ice in it. I'm going to put them on a canoe, and I'm going to drink them
and
down.
I'm going to start.
It is a great summer crusher pack.
Yeah, I'm going to crush these beers. I'm not going to sit here with my monocle and mixing cup and.
Okay. But if for some reason.
That's the sound I make.
Wow.
That's the sound I make when I'm wearing my monocle, in case you didn't know.
No pants.
But if some reason you were, somebody was drinking something and somebody was drinking something else, and somehow those two got mixed.
Let's say two sorority sisters are on a camping trip. And
whatever.
No, that's a blend.
No.
Bruh.
But I guess the bottom line is you don't have to just drink out of the can. You can blend with your cans, if that makes any sense.
Wow.
Okay, well, thank you so much. This is going to wrap it up for today's episode. You can always find us where you find this episode, as well as radio, satellite, online at iTunes, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and nearly any place you listen to the podcast. The easiest way to find us on your phone is to ask Alexi, Siri, or Google, play podcast Sip Suds and Smokes.
Guys, we love your feedback, and you can reach us online at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com.
Our daily tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram every day at Sip Suds Smokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news.
Please take the time to rate this episode if you're listening online.
Hey, Kendall, why don't you tell us briefly about your blog?
My wife and I blog about the good news of good beer at beermakes3.com. You can also follow us on Instagram.
This is good old Gal Juliana, and saying goodbye today is good old boy Dave.
Goodbye today.
Good old boy Kendall.
Cheers.
Good old boy Drew.
Thanks so much for having me again.
Good old boy Sparky.
Blends, brah.
Drink up, blend away, and keep on chuggling. Cheers, and see you next time.
been a 110 hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.